mentioned this. Craig knows me. I think Craig and I go back like 27 years, Craig. All the way down when he first bought his transporters at Alpine Motors. And ever since then, I think we started off on a few bad notes. We definitely did. But then it's like most of the guys that I do know here today, we always started off on the bad note and we ended up being friends. So I do emceeing and coordination, so Craig, he's been through a very traumatic time. And Lynn's been through a whole lot. And through then we've got chatting, and with all the fantastic times we've shared together as friends, Craig became more family to me, and so did Lynn. And when they moved over, I did miss them dearly because we had our regular Friday nights at the Whole Hog. If those of you that did know the Whole Hog back then, it was our Friday night hangout. So yeah, it was awesome. It was great. It was, I think, Shane, Talita and Shannon and I knew them when they were like this big, so they didn't even recognize me now. But guys, it's due to the fact that I've lost all my hair. But ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for a beautiful couple to come through. I think they're about 6 minutes away. So we are here to celebrate the life of a Miss Universe, a beautiful mom, a gracious wife, a wife who has definitely been a pillar of strength to my colleague Craig, and to the kids, and to the grandkids. You know, it was a bit of a challenge, yes, but for all of us that know Lynn, looking at every single one of us down here, I think let's give her a big round of applause up in heaven, because she has touched every single one of us in such an amazing way that she will always and forever be remembered as this great soul. And as we discussed today, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate her soul. As much as we all know, we all have been close on the group. I'm sure most of you guys have been on the group as well. And it's been a stressful time. It's been a painful time for family and her. But guys, she's in a better place. She's resting. Craig, to you and the girls, I'm sure you guys are a bit more at ease with the stress levels that we go through. But yes, today we celebrate this beautiful lady who has touched all of us. So I'm going to say this as most things, and I'm going to ask you guys to please rise. We're just going to do a little prayer on her behalf. Dear Lord, all of us gathered here today to celebrate and give Lynn a beautiful send-off. She has been a pillar of strength, a pillar of motivation. She's been this greatest person that's walked this earth in terms of Craig, the girls, the grandkids, the son-in-laws, and yeah, ladies and gentlemen, to all of us, I'm sure she has been an absolute doll, an absolute angel. So she's blessed us. We are here to send her soul off this afternoon and let her shine down on us. And she wants to see us all smile and say to her, Lynn, we are so much more glad that you are in a better place. And we wish that you were here with us in all strength, but today we send you off in all that you have now gone into painless and stressless, and more importantly, a life of harmony. So, amen. Amen. You may be seated, ladies and gentlemen. That's the DJ. So Craig, this is a surprise just for her. You know, guys, I used to tape myself singing, and I used to send Craig all the voice notes. And Shane, he would play it for Lynn, and he'd come back and say, no, she liked it. I said, okay, thanks, Craig. It was amazing. You're my peace of mind in this crazy world. You're everything I've tried to find your love is a pearl. You're my Mona Lisa, you're my rainbow skies, and my only prayer is that you realize you'll always be beautiful in my eyes. The world turns and the seasons will change. When this time to remember all the beautiful things. Now I'm filled with tears, I'll shed of sighs. My only prayer is that you realize you'll always be beautiful in my eyes. You'll always be beautiful in my eyes. And passing years will show that you will always grow ever more beautiful in my eyes. Oh yeah, that's dedicated to Lynn and Greg. She will always be beautiful in your eyes. Yes, I'm being followed by a moonshine. We all in Durban, so we know it can be extremely warm. But yeah, guys, we're going to send all our love, all our warmth to that beautiful soul. Are you guys with me? Yeah. Guys, we're going to serve food shortly. But I want to hear you guys. Are you guys here today to celebrate a soul? Yeah. I think that's what we're here for, guys. So I think it's vitally important for me to say firstly, on behalf of our host family, thank you for sharing this wonderful and auspicious day. It's sad, but most importantly, it's going to be a memorable day. It's going to be a magical afternoon with all of you. And once again, thanks for sharing all your love and all your care with our beautiful family. Right now, we're going to go through on our program. We want to welcome. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, guys, let's hear it from Mr. Brett Oxley, who's going to come through and share memories and times, guys. We want you guys to clap along. We want you guys to enjoy everything he says because he's such a great guy. He's going to be telling us a whole lot of stories. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good day, everyone. I've jotted down a few notes because there's quite a lot of things going on in our lives with me and Lynn and thinking back. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Craig. You want to stand over here? Yeah. It's okay. Thank you, Craig, for giving me this opportunity. In the first place, I thought I didn't actually want to stand up and speak because I do get emotional sometimes when I speak about Lynn. But on second thoughts, I kept thinking about all the times with Lynn that we've shared laughs and we've shared fun, we've shared work, we've shared hardships, and I think no. And I did ask Leighton if he would stand, and I said no, Leighton, actually, I think I would like to speak. So I'd just like to start by offering my condolences to Craig, to Shannon, and to Lisa, and the family. And I understand what you've been through for a long time now. And I'm in total harmony that we make this day a happy day. No, we don't talk about sadness. So Lynn and I actually started together. Honestly, I can't even remember when. It's so long ago. But I think it must have been sometime in the early 80s or mid 80s. So we're going back a long, long time. And that means that our friendship stood the test of time. Lynn and I both came from the north of England. So I think when we started working in corporate, we kind of found ourselves in the type of humor that we shared. And I think also a little bit of the upbringing, the type of way we were brought up, we kind of found values and qualities in each other that we admired. And working in corporate was pretty tough sometimes. It was quite glamorous from the outside. You traveled, you went around and what have you, but inside there was a lot of politics and people could backstab to try and move one step on with one another. But Lynn and I kind of looked out for each other and we would help each other and we'd watch each other's backs. Lynn was always a team player. At work she was always part of the team. She didn't stand on the side. She didn't distract from what was ever happening. She just got stuck in, and if there was a problem, let's all get stuck in together and sort this problem out. She was always positive, and with her team, she showed compassion to her people that she worked with. The thing that keeps coming through all the time, and I'm sure as we go along to there, Lynn's smile was just infectious. Lynn could just smile at adversity. When there was something wrong, she would say, let's just get over it, let's sort it out and get over it, and I admire that. I honestly cannot remember in all those years Lynn ever losing it. I can't remember losing a temper, I can't remember ever shouting. She just stayed in the center lane. She was like this calm, and she always looked at the glass half full. It was never half empty. She was this positive person that I admired so much and I enjoyed being with. After leaving corporate, Lynn joined Leighton and I in a company that we set up after we left corporate, and she came to start our marketing footprint in our company. And we appreciated that so much because we were a small company and she came along and she just treated us the same as if we were still the bosses in Scots. She gave us the same kind of attitude, the same kind of work. She helped us a lot in the beginning. And then also my wife had a company that she managed, and Lynn also went and helped that company set up their marketing as well. She enjoyed her work very much, but I can tell you Lynn worked for her family. She didn't live for work. A lot of people kind of just tragically work, but it was always about Lynn's family. And although I didn't know Craig very well, and I didn't know the girls, I had met them, but I felt like I knew you, Craig. She would talk so much about you. you would talk about how you spend time together and how you enjoyed life together and how you were looking forward to going to your new home together. And that made me feel great, that it was about family, and I think that was Lynn's personality. Lynn and I have been good friends, and sometimes, to be honest, we didn't see each other for months and months, could be even maybe a year, but when we got back together and we chatted, it was just like nothing ever missed. We were always on the same page. She was always very open with me, chatting to me, telling me about how life is, or she didn't hide behind anything when she got the sickness towards the end. She was amazing. I mean, we would meet for coffee and she would say something like, would you mind if we sit right next to the toilet because accidents might happen at any time. She didn't kind of hide the fact that she was going through what she was going through, and she shared that as well. And the thing that amazed me was, as I said before, Lynn just smiled. She smiled all the time. Through all the sickness, she smiled. I can't say I ever heard Lynn complain about the sickness, not once, to me anyway. She was just pragmatic. This is what I'm going to do, this is what's going to happen, and then we'll see what happens. And she was like, you know, all the way along like that. We will all miss Lynn's smile and the positive presence for her star that will always shine brightly. On Craig's WhatsApp message, he mentions her smile and her presence, Craig. It's going to be with us all the time. And I think the way to remember Lynn today is that beautiful smile that she has and her kind nature. And thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you.
Thank you, Miss Oxley. Oh, sorry, ladies, I'm just a bit loud. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna... Are you ready? Are you okay? Okay, guys, you're at Water Leader. Who's gonna speak on behalf of the sisters? Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what I did, I didn't write. I was going to write a poem, and then I didn't feel led to write a poem. I actually felt led to write a letter that, as if I was going to give it to her, if I could give it to her. Mama, I just want to start off by saying I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you when you went to be in glory. I'm sorry I couldn't give you one last hug or kiss, or that Alora couldn't give her Granny one last ma before you left us. I'm sorry you had to go so soon. This is a pain that I've never felt before, and I think that we've never felt before. A pain that I know will eventually ease, but the pain of not being there with you, I'm not sure I'll be able to let that go. That was my greatest heart's desire, was to give you one more hug and one more kiss, and to let Alora love again one last time, even in her busy 1-year-old way. But I find peace in knowing I'll see you again, and we will walk side by side. There's actually a photo of us from a wedding we went to. It's in the slideshow. And it's truthfully one of my favorite photos of us, and I didn't understand why until now. It's because of what we are doing in the photo, and it is in that it represents so much to me and what you did as a mom. We were simply walking side by side, and that's it. You were always there by my side, and I think with Shannon as well, through it all. So thank you for always walking next to me through every season of my life. Every single season of my life, you were always there next to me, even despite when I was difficult or impossible as a teenager. But now, being a mother myself, I now fully understand the sheer love you had for me and the sacrifices you made for me and Shannon daily. You were always there, no matter what. Always there to pick up the pieces, to comfort, to cuddle, to help, and above all, to just simply love us as a daughter would just need a mother's love sometimes. Something I deeply understand now. Like I said when I had to let you go, if I can be anything like you as a mom, I'll be happy. Thank you for being the best mom and for always being there. It's hard to know that you won't be there anymore, and I can't give you a call for advice, especially as I navigate motherhood. I want to tell a story about that actually. When Alora was first born, she was like a couple weeks old and she was crying and crying and crying and crying, and I had no idea what it was. I phoned my mum in tears. Mum, she just doesn't want to stop. I don't know what to do. And then we were talking and she's like, no, it sounds like it's colic. I'm like, what is colic, mother? Because it doesn't make sense. And she explained it to me and I was like, okay, now that makes sense. So as I navigate motherhood, I will still reach out to you, and I know you'll guide me in some way or another. Thank you for being the person you were, shining bright, filled with love, care and kindness, passion for life and those you loved and adored. One with a heart that simply overflowed with such a soft and tender love. Your strength was beyond comprehension and understanding, especially over the past few years. Thank you for passing that on to me, because I know I will carry you in that as I continue to be strong like you have been for so many years. You were truly one of a kind, and heaven is blessed to have you back. But above everything else, thank you for being the best Granny to Alora. I'm so glad that you got to meet your precious granddaughter. You're Alora Blue. You were in Durban before she even arrived, and that's how I knew you loved her so much already, and you were so excited to be a Granny. You were so proud of her, Mama, and I know you loved her deeply. Sending her messages to wish her for each month that passed. Messages I'll cherish close to my heart now. I'm so sorry you missed her first birthday. I know how much you wanted to be here for it, and just as I did, but just as Darren said, you had the best seat in our house for it, watching it from above with King Jesus. I'll truly miss those messages going forward, but I know we will think of you more, especially on those days, and celebrate you as we celebrate Alora. Although the time with her was short, it was sweet and precious, and I know she left a mark on your heart in such a special and beautiful way. One I will forever be grateful for. I'll continue to tell her about her Granny, and I can't wait to tell her all about the stories of you, spoiling her before she was even born, and even after she was born, sending clothes and clothes and clothes and clothes, and then just telling me you couldn't help yourself. Clothes I'm grateful for now, because they will remind me of you and I can get to share it with her. But I won't continue to tell her only about you, because I realize something. I'm carrying you with me in a way that only she will understand and know. Since you left us, I love Alora a little more for you, because I know that's what you would want me to do. So I'll keep doing that. I'll love it deeper just for you, her Granny. We miss you. I miss you. And I'll miss you for all the days to come, but I'll figure out how to live without you here in the natural, but now even closer to me as I carry you in my heart. Dance with the angels now, pain-free, filled with joy and peace and glory, smiling that smile of hers. I love you, Mama, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Chalita. I think there's nothing more that one can say. And, it's so vitally important. Hearing Brett, hearing Chalita, and all of you. It's so vitally important to know that she's touched so many hearts. She's left back a legendary of wonderful memories. Do you guys agree with me? Absolutely. She's left back an amazing sense of belonging in every single one of us that are here today. That you will always have that moment where you will see Lynn. And ladies and gentlemen, it's something that happens. You will have a little memory, you will walk down the road and it'll like ping. And it's there. Because she's been such a bubbly person, and yes, I agree with every single one of you. Her smile was flawless. She smiled and she brought light regardless of your mood that you were in. If Lynn smiled, you just had to smile because there was no other way. Right. Now what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is Craig asked me if I could please read his speech for you because he's very emotional right now. And yes, after all those years together and putting the last bit together, it was very difficult. Looking at, I probably read his speech about 6 times over. And for all of us that know Craig, he would always talk to you. He would always encourage you. He's always someone that gets you going. And yes, his biggest backbone and strength was Lynn. She was his biggest support structure. And yes, I always agree. I always says this to Craig as well. Craig, you have the most beautiful wife in the world. Because from all the times we spent together, there was nothing that you would say, you know what guys, no you can't do it. Lynn was always the one that said, Craig, go for it. And she did. She did that with the girls as well. She always encouraged them. So I'm going to read out Craig's words as it was. The life of Lynn with me and the girls. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you guys are going to close your eyes and picture this as I read through. Because this is how exciting it was. I actually pictured it after reading it about 5 times. It's not a lot that he's written in. But the amount of substance in what he's written is what's really touched me. And I sat up last night and I was thinking, do I phone him at 9 o'clock last night and say, Craig, did you really write all of this down? It's not much. And he WhatsApped it to me and I said to myself, wow, in a little note, there is so much of substance, it's unbelievable. And here, Craig, I think that's your forte, bud. When you meet someone for the first time, and if it's a fight, then it's a friendship that follows through. So, meeting Lynn is chapter 1 in Craig's life. Lynn and I met through mutual friends 36 years ago, and actually didn't enjoy each other's company at all. And all changed at a New Year's Eve party in 1991. We both had light bulb moments, and our little single hearts decided they wanted to be together, and so our romance started. And things moved pretty quickly there. Craig, if you know Craig, he always loves to do things as quick as he can. So, moving in together 4 months after getting together, we bought a house together, and then Lynn fell pregnant with Talita. Tilly, you just did it, eh? You just had to.
Not buggering her up.
Absolutely not. And Talita, so baby was due in June 92. And my dear mom said, we had to get married before baby was born. So in January of 92, Lynn and I tied the knot. One whirlwind romance. That's great for you. Absolutely true. Shannon was born in May 1994, and then the family was complete. A little insight to Lynn. Lynn was a loving and caring person and always put others first before worrying about herself. But that's exactly what Brett said, that's exactly what you all know. She would rather offer you something than having it for herself. But just sorry, Brett, she had to go to the toilet at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, that's the character she had, that's the personality. She loved her girls to the moon and back and went out of her way to make sure they were happy and got whatever they wanted and encouraged them to face life head on regardless of the challenges. And yes, if you look at our 2 beautiful ladies, that's exactly what you have. An inspiration, a lady that's put them forward, and a lady that's given them the strength, the talent, and the charisma to go out there and do what they do the best they can. And both the parents have been absolutely stunning. Before we got married, Lynn made it very clear to me that no matter what, the kids would not come from a broken family. So I made a commitment to her that it would never happen. And there again, she was quite stoned and firm. Craig, it's not going to happen. And then, the marriage came in. After the 4 months and the 5 months and then Talita, and then it was the wedding. And then, sorry man, Shannon, you sealed the deal and it was the best thing ever. So guys, Lynn had an amazing career. And she worked into marketing as a marketing manager at Scott's and Milady's. And after leaving the corporate world, she became a lecturer at Varsity College for many years. She loved interior designing and excelled in it tremendously. Guys, she always had a flair. I even had her come to work and tell me, no, that's not right. And I said, okay, Lynn, I'm just the worker here. Craig could say, Lynn, leave it. Sandesh knows what he's doing. So that was that there. She excelled in her courses, and after leaving Varsity College, and all the homes that they've owned was totally decorated by her touch and her love. And I promise you, from all the pictures, they were stunning. They were always flawless. There was always a sense of belonging, the air direction, the flow. I think she was very streamless about the way she went through everything in detail. So there was no cutting back. I was blessed to have been able to share 35 years of my life with such a caring, loving, wonderful person whom I could call my wife, and be proud of her, how she fought to the bitter end, and she never complained once about the treatment she had to endure on the regular basis of 4.5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, that as well. It was painstaking. It's not one that you would want to actually discuss. It's not something you want to say. But for those of you that have had loved ones in the process, or you've had an experience, it's an extremely painstaking situation. But there she carried on and she persisted, and she still smiled through that. She was unbelievable. And I think Craig and I would have conversations till about 11 at night. Just, Craig, are you okay? Yeah, no, we'll just chat. And then, like I said, I would do a song and then he'd go and play it for it, and I'd say, did she like it? And he'd say, okay, she did. Otherwise, if she didn't, I think he also said to me, no, she didn't like that one. She did. We will all miss her, and yes, we all miss you and love you dearly. Your husband, Talita Shannon, little Aurora Blue, and Darren. Guys, I think in a nutshell, there is so much that he's put into there that I tried to read as much as I can, but understanding her, I think, was not one that you really needed. You have people that you can say, I want to understand them, or you want to try and read them. Lynn was this fairy tale book that you opened, and it just appeared. It was a beautiful soul. It was a beautiful person. She was genuine. She came across, and I think if anyone would have a firm figure of that beside Craig, Brett, I think she was very firm and direct in terms if she wanted to say something, she said it like it is. You take it on or not. Craig? Absolutely. I mean, I even know we went out and we were at the Hog. And the one day I said to her, she says, no, you're driving back to Pietermaritzburg? Nothing. I said, okay. I couldn't help it. No, but it's true. It was purely out of care. It was purely out of love that it went through. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to let you guys enjoy this momentous day. To my left and your right, we have a little placard. Guys, it's a memory that we want you to share with the family. You can come through, write your name, write a little comment, write on something that we're going to get, and Craig will eventually frame it, because this is what we wanted, a happy occasion, an occasion where we're celebrating this wonderful person, Lynn. So, that was ground rule number 1 that I was supposed to have actually said to the guys, was to switch phones on to silent, but I got caught. Sorry guys, I'm busted. Sorry, that's work. But ladies and gentlemen, please, we want you to also come through. The mic is here. I would love for all of you, and I'm sure every single one of you have a little beautiful poem, a little beautiful saying, or a little memory, just that you want to share with us. where we can actually remember Lynn for this wonderful, amazing person she was. Please, feel free. The mic is here. We want to hear you. We want to hear your moment, your moment of stardom, your moment of, what would you call it, Craig? Would you say it's rather your moment of togetherness, your time spent with Lynn? Some beautiful friendship, some magical moment. That's the word I was looking for. Because it's always an enchanting moment, it's a magical moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, at any order, I will not call you up. You come through, and if it catches your eye and say, okay, I remember this point, we want you to share it with us. We want to enjoy this moment. We want to make it happy, because let's face it, the moments we shared with Lynn were always happy moments. There was never a dull moment that we shared with Lynn. I think I tried to get her once to sing, and she said to me, Sandesh, you got 2 chances. One is no, and the other is never. But she would sit on a chair, guys. You would sing a song, and Lynn and Craig would be up there, and she'd be singing, and she'd be going. I said, Lynn, you want to sing? Never. Not at all. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Darren, would you like to say a few words? Let's get you in. Sorry, Darren, that's me. I'm the spontaneous guy that throws a mic at anybody. So we're going to get Darren to say a few words. So we're going to pass the mic around. So then we can get it going. Are you guys okay with that? Yes, most definitely. Let's give Darren a round of applause, guys.
Thank you for throwing me under the bus. I don't have anything prepared. I just have one memory that came to mind while we were just sitting here. It's quite a funny memory that I have with her. So I one day decided I'm going to marry Talitha, and I'm going to ask her parents. And I didn't know how to go about it. I had zero clue. Didn't have it all planned out. Didn't know what I was going to say. I was just like, Lord, you need to help me and give me the words, because I don't know what to say or how to do it or when to do it. And I just felt nudged in a moment, sitting down with Craig at the kitchen table, asking him, can I marry your daughter? I don't even know what we were talking about at the time, but yeah, it just like vomited out kind of thing. It was very unnatural. And I think, Craig looked at me and he froze for a second, and he said, okay, come with me. And Lynn was in the room. I think she was reading a book. And we get to the room, and Lynn's on the bed. I think she had her hearing aids on, so she put her hearing aids in. And Craig said, listen, Darren has something to ask you. But then, obviously, before then, Craig had accepted my request, and Talitha's hand in marriage. And then I asked Lynn, and Lynn looked at me and she's like, are you sure? That wasn't the response that I thought I was going to get. So I was thrown off completely. But it did help the nerves, because it did cool the air a bit, because I was like already nerve shocked, not knowing how to do this or when to do it, and it just felt all very unnatural. I mean, I'm doing this literally, and Lynn is lying in the bed reading a book, and I'm asking for her daughter's hand in marriage. So not maybe the most ideal moment to do it at the time, but that was just a beautiful little memory of her quirky, funny nature that she has. In any moment, whatever it is, serious, happy, sad, whatever it is, she always somehow had that character in her that just brought the best out of whatever moment it was. Especially for me, seriously nerve-wracking moment, especially after hearing that comment. But I can't think of anything else to say other than I'm just grateful for her, love her. thank her for giving me such a beautiful life. Thank you.
Thanks, Darren, DC. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play on some soft music, Craig. Is that fine? And then while we go through, please feel free. I want you guys to come through. I want to hear those wonderful, magical moments that you guys have shared with Lynn and Craig and the girls. Darren, that was touching. You see, I didn't throw you under the bus. You were on the rooftop, like you would do in India. Yeah, when you go to India, you actually, the buses are too full, so they sit on the carrier at the top. So hence, and I said to Craig once, and I said to Lynn, and she I still remember she laughed at me because it was there again. I went and I did a 80th birthday party in Hillcrest, and that was down in 2009. And I got there and they looked at me and they said, no, he's going to be doing the music. So Mr. Smith comes up and says, Sandesh. I said, yes, Mr. Smith. She says, but I don't know Indian music. So I said to her, ma'am, they do not, we can do if you want to, but she said, no, you don't do Indian music. I said, no, what they've done is they've given me a playlist of all the beautiful songs that you wrote. So I ended up playing a bit and then I sang a bit. But then it was a Saturday afternoon and it was right next to the pool. And after I think 3 glasses of wine, Mr. Smith was very, very fine thereafter. So she eventually walked up to me and she says to me, did you sing all of those songs? I said, yes, ma'am, I did. So she said to me, okay, I don't believe you. I said, oh, why? She says, because you didn't sound like an Indian fellow singing. So I said to her, ma'am, I did sing it. She says, I am going to stand right here and I'm going to watch you sing. So I said, okay, no problem. So I said, what song would you like? So she said, you're going to do the Bee Gees again for me. So I said, okay, no problems. So I sang it, and it was Massachusetts. She loved it. I actually sang it 4 times that night. And so she says to me, so she heard me sing. So eventually she says to me, no way, you couldn't have done it. I said, okay. I said, ma'am, I'm going to let you out on a secret. She says, what? I said, ma'am, no, I'm actually a white guy. So she looked at me even more confused. So she says to me, what are you saying? I said, ma'am, we live in Durban. Unfortunately, I live in Chatsworth, so I had to go a bit darker. And then, because of all the seasons, so I had to go and surf all the way in Isipingo Beach, where the waves are very high. So she looked, what are you trying to say? I said, ma'am, I'm just suntanned. Then she had another glass of wine and she came back and says to me, Sandesh, sing it again. And I couldn't believe myself. She actually believed I was white eventually. So I eventually had to say, no ma'am, I am Indian. And we had lots of fun and we had lots of games going through. But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our family and our host, Craig, I'm not going to ask you to say a few words, but can I do a vote of thanks on behalf of everybody of you guys and to say thank you for all of you sharing your time and your memories, which we still want you to come through and say. So, Brett, I'm not giving you the mic. You've had it sorted. So, Talita, Shannon, do you want to say anything? No, not. Okay. Guys, the mic's on the table. I'm going to ask you guys, Craig and Nick, out for tea. What would you like us to do right now? So they're going to be serving lunch as well, ladies and gentlemen, shortly. So, now I've got to go back to work, eh? You see, that's what I'm saying now. You see, I'm back to the same thing again. Not for you. Okay, Mr. DJ, you can put on a bit of music. But ladies and gentlemen, the mic's on the table. I humbly request you guys, please come through. Let's have some fun. When I say fun, we want to share that memories. We want us to go back on this beautiful evening or day with nothing but fond and glad memories. Don't you guys agree? Guys, you are all sitting too quiet. I actually going to ask this gentleman, sir, what is your name?
Me.
Yes, sir.
Neville.
Neville, I'm sorry, but I passed the mic very quickly. Neville, would you like to come to and just say, share a few words? You're gonna pass. Okay, no, Neville's passing. Guys, please feel free. It's right here. So there's a playlist that has been selected, and I think, Talita, that's a playlist mum, the music kind of mum like listening to. Okay. There we go, guys. Enjoy. And let's share those words. Derek, thank you for your memory. And the family, I want to say a huge thank you for having me over. And to all of you for sharing this wonderful day. We want to say a huge thank you to all of you for sharing this day with us. And you guys stay and enjoy. Unfortunately, I've got to get back to work. I'm in trouble again, yet my phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are on the Lynn Health group, I think it's nice. Don't you guys enjoy it? And we can still say to Craig, hi, how's he doing? So it keeps him in contact, and everybody else. And it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a wonderful lunch with every single one of you, and in sharing a wonderful person and celebrating the life of a absolute wonderful lady. So I want to say thank you once again to every single one of you for sharing it, and I will be on my way. Thank you very much. you.